If you could spend a moment with some remarkable people and discover what the life sounds like, what would you ask? Welcome to Are We On Air? An audio encounter. I'm Armand-Delille, and each episode will feature one conversation with an inspiring friend of mine who will share with us the soundtrack to their life. Bonjour, beautiful people, and welcome back to another glorious episode of Are We On Air? Today, we are joined by the incredible French electro-pop duo that is Polo and Pan. Their story began in the early 2000s at the now legendary Parisian nightclub called Le Baron. And here, a shout out to our friend of the show, André Sareva, a place that wasn't just a club, but a moment in time that defined a generation. So when I heard that Polo Pan are swinging by Los Angeles during their Coachella weekends, I thought, why not invite them to come to our little kioscotheque? So we met up between their two weekend sets at Coachella, where they managed to hold their crowd even as Post Malone's fireworks lit up the sky next door. And in between those performances, they stopped by our little kiosk on Sunset Boulevard for an unforgettable record release party that turned into a wonderful block party, just as we like it. In this episode, Polo and Pan talk about the power of collaboration, but also how letting go of their usual creative process changed everything for their latest album, 22, and how they've learned to find real joy in performing again. We covered everything from their live soundtrack to their Coachella performance. So sit back, tune in, and enjoy the journey. In case you haven't already, then do subscribe to our Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and, of course, to our newsletter on areweonair.com.
Bienvenue à Are We On Air, Polo San, Pan.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Ouais.
You came straight up from Coachella.
Straight out of Coachella, our first weekend was really amazing. A lot of emotions. It's really building up the show to that. That was the milestone for us. So we're happy. We're relieved. It went really well. It was super fun.
Amazing.
We actually enjoyed it. Usually we get these big shows. Sometimes you kind of look at yourself. You're not really present, and we really worked on that. Kind of like trying to enjoy the show and be with the people, the audience. So that happened for the first time.
Nice. Was this your first Coachella?
It was our second Coachella, but the first one was like
Small show.
yeah, and we were like it was super, like crazily emotional for us. So we're dealing with our stress better.
How long do you have to prepare for a show like Coachella?
Specifically, we did a residency when we arrived in LA, and we prepared stuff with our guest, Papa Rod. But we've been spending, a lot of tweaking specifically for this show. It was our first 60-minute show, our first festival, our first US show. So we did like a couple of days dedicated specifically to the Coachella show. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine the pressure. I saw some footage. It looked insane. I mean, massive.
Yeah, so a lot of pressure, but the whole idea is to actually enjoy it and let go of that pressure. And we worked really hard, and the show was good. And that's what happened. Like on stage, we had a good time, and it was beautiful. There was a full moon. The audience looked beautiful.
Yes, of course. You were playing during the full moon. For you guys, yeah?
For us. For us. He's trying to get his audience back. He's like, come back, guys. Like, have fireworks.
Yeah, you guys were full. You guys were full.
We were full. No.
I have to say, we do a lot of these kioscotheque takeovers with great artists, of course, and friends of the show. But the amount of girls that got excited that Polo Pan is taking over, I was like, wait, what? Where did this come from? I had no idea.
That's cool. We've always had a really nice audience and a mix of 50-50 of women and men. And other bands always say it's great when, openers or bands that tour with us, your audience is amazing. There's so many girls and they enjoy it and they have a nice, so I guess our music is feminine compatible and it's not too aggressive.
Yeah.
Girls like to get down to it. So that's cool.
Listen, always the goal is always get the girls and the gays. Then you have the best audience.
Exactly.
I love it. Talking about the girls and the gays, you guys met at Le Baron back in the day in Paris.
Yes.
I mean, stomping ground for all of us, I guess, and most of my audiences as well. I I mean, Le Baron, what a moment in time in Paris. What was that like? And you guys were resident DJs, I believe.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. Like, so Alex was really part of the team. He was closer to the founders, and I kind of came as a resident on the second part towards the end. But I loved Le Baron, and I was an outsider for a long time. I would come with my guitar and play at the entrance and sing songs with people, and it was kind of like really enjoying that time period in Paris where suddenly Paris got really fun for a few years. It kind of got crazy, and it was also. Yeah, I just finished my studies. It was a good time. Like I had a blast back then. And yeah, towards the end of Le Baron, we met with Alex they had a dinner for all the resident DJs organized by Greg Boost and so on. So we hung out, we kind of met each other. And then I ran into him in Mexico. He was playing at M. Roy.
Oh, yeah,
and I was
great.
with some friends for a bachelor party. I had my USB key. I came up and we went back to back and we really hit it off. And we were like, okay, when you come back to Paris, come to my studio. I was living in a factory outside of Paris with some artists, a former printing factory. We had this massive 40,000 square feet space. And he came, he was like, wow, what is this? And yeah, he never left the studio. We started that's pretty much what happened. Mexico was a big part actually of our core audience at the beginning, and how we connected through Mexico has been really good to us.
Because that was also like that period, I call it the Tuluminati sounds, yeah? Which was kind of a poncho house or whatever you want to call it, where there was like Latin-infused electronic sounds, let's put it that way, right? So it kind of mixed with that eclecticism of Le Baron sound.
Yeah, the Tulum, like we definitely adopted like kind of the tropical instruments and collecting rare instruments from our trips. When I met Alex, I was just coming back from a 3-month residency in Morocco in Taroudant, where I kind of learn how to record like at the circle of live musicians and getting all like kind of working with spending a lot of time with people in the Atlas Mountains and getting them to record. And it was so when I got back from that, I definitely knew like, okay, my music is better when I collaborate. The less I try to control, the more I let other people do stuff, the more I get interesting things. And that's why there was a lot of space for collaboration with Alex. It really opened me up to collaborating and so with Polo Pan from the beginning is a collaboration, and right away we had Victoria, and we brought in a lot of musicians and these instruments, these tropical instruments. So we don't really have a Tuluminati sound per se.
No. But I'm just saying they were like influenced, especially during that
something
time.
around that. Yeah.
Which is great, of course. Big fan. Like all the Baron DJs that I've known, the Cold Costs and everyone of that period, and Greg, everyone had like a key Baron song. Which was yours?
For me, Le Baron, like the way I saw it, was kind of like playing a really cool wedding. Kind of like you could play any style. Yeah. It's not about like a technical DJ set. It's kind of an anti-French touch, like filtered house with turntables. We were just playing selector tracks. So I was playing a lot of Rolling Stones in the beginning, just like, like classic rock, and then mixing in disco and hip hop and some classic French stuff. And it was a lot of what we brought in the brand of Polo Pan was just trying to bring in some sounds that are not usually in electronic music and bring an electronic frame to that.
Why don't we go straight and very Are We On Air way into what's your earliest significant musical memory that shaped you as an artist?
Like my dad playing guitar. My father is a great guitarist, classical guitar, and he spent a lot of time in South America. He spent 2 years in Brazil with my mom before they came back to France and had me. So that was in the late 70s. And so the bossa nova, a lot of the guitar thing, I kind of got from my dad. And in Canopé, that came directly from this heritage. So that's one of the earliest memories. We do a lot of singing. My dad would have us singing in the car with my brother and sister. And we do talent shows in the US when they bring us. So we would sing these circle songs, the canon. There's a lot of music in the family.
Nice. And what song shall we play from that period?
From that period, Recorde de Alhambra. It's a classical guitar song that my dad played, which I absolutely love, and hit that.
I know it's very difficult, but how would you describe yourself in 3 songs? Or maybe it's easier, 3 songs that define Polo Pan.
Definitely La Femme d'Argent, Moon Safari. The album's right around there, and it's a defining record for both of us. There's the Crapa Pelada song, which was the first sample of Revolta that Alex brought from his project Radio, where he's collecting all this.
Shout out to Benjamin.
Yes, shout out to Benjamin. So Alex was really into collecting all these songs, and he loves vintage Italian 50s songs. That's really one of his favorite destinations on radio. So he brought, that was a defined, like, first sample we used.
Sopra dei fa la frittata, grinda minga, crapa pelata. Crapa pelata la fai turtei, grinda minga, i suoi freddi fa la frittata, grinda minga, crapa pelata la fai turtei, grinda minga, sopra dei. Crapa pela, crapa pela, crapa pela, crapa pela, crapa pela, crapa pela, buriduriputi, crapa pela, crapa pela, crapa pela, crapa pela, crapa pela. E la canzone ti fa dimenticare, scordar ciò che ti rattrista il cuore, sospirar ti fa. Chi lo sa se potrò ritrovare la folta chioma. Prova, tenta ancora. Ho provato la nozione, ti sicura e consigliata la chiarina di vigore, ma la testa corpelata. Coraggio amico, non ti disperare. Con la bulbo gabellino, con berumo e petrolino, ho provato e ritrovato, ma io sono corpelato. Perché? Non so, come, chissà, perché. Perché? Sei tu, grappa pelata, grappa pelata, grappa, 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 grappa.
A little last one, maybe just with the more folk US culture that I have in the new album with a song like Summer is Never, Summer is Almost Over, is Never Over. Summer is almost over.
The tongue and the brain's getting tired. We've been repeating ourselves the past few weeks.
My brother messed with me because I played the song for him, and he's like, "Man, it would be a hit if you said Summer is Never Over." It's like, I just finished this song, and I went for Summer is Almost Over.
You know you're always on my mind.
Well, let's talk about the new album. It's right behind us. 2222.
Yes.
Tell me all about it. It's a slight different direction than the first two.
Yeah.
There's, slightly different elements.
Yes.
Tell me all about it, but also what's your favorite track of that album?
So yeah, there's a few different reasons why it's different. It's the first album. We took a long break. For the first time, we took a 6-month break after 10 years of kind of like just piling on nonstop. And we came back and we really changed the workflow. And we used to kind of write a storyboard for the album and say, okay, let's do a cumbia. Let's write the destination. Like we're going to go in this culture, this or that. And for this album, we built a big table with instruments and we plugged everything. And instead of talking about the songs, we made them with our fingers. So
cool.
It kind of started from music and it was, so the process was different. There was a lot of vintage gear. Yeah, we're kind of like identified as very tropical. We probably wanted to do something different. It's good to make a move. And that's just the music that came out. It wasn't really planned. So 22 was, I think that's the main thing. It came from the workflow and just doing things without speaking so much, which is interesting for artists to go from a more conscious to a more unconscious process. But I think we're very in control and we needed to let go a bit. And this album is a little more on the moon side as opposed to the sunny side, which it's got a little more surrealist. The visual is quite surrealist and something a little more in the shadows and un peu d'ombre. Voilà.
Nice. And it's catching the magic in the studio, right? You just kind of, as you said, set up the technicalities and just kind of see what you can catch.
Yes. Yeah.
In the studio.
Yeah. Also, and there's a lot of other reasons. We're just talking about that on our way over, but also the optics of just doing a lot of tropical music and sampling different countries. Like, okay, let's just not start from a culture or destination, but like from us. It's interesting. We never saw ourselves as good musicians. We don't have like excellent musicianship. Yeah. It's more like concepts and production. But we played a lot of this, so that was fun.
Yeah, cool. What I like about your sound, and I guess we're, again, kids of Le Baron, being eclectic and very broad and trying to make it cohesive, I think speaks to me personally very much, my DJing and interest in music in general. It's like quote unquote world music, electronic music, disco and all that, and trying to make it all one cohesive sound and that it makes sense. I'm always, when I meet people, like-minded people like yourself, what do you look for in a DJ set or even in production to make all these different, technically different sounds and backgrounds? What do you look for to create that like red thread between all of them to make it more like one?
I guess the production was the first way we went about was we have kind of like some sounds, some signature sounds, a kind of a groove also that was very present in the first albums. And so you could take any style and kind of just bring this frame of, we tried, when you're an electronic producer, you have a choice of a billion sounds. And the first thing we did, we chose some snares, some kicks, some bass sounds. And we're like, okay, this is our kit for
identity.
Yeah. And that was important. Alex brought a lot of that because I was producing all sorts of projects and he helped me kind of like, let's not make it too complicated. Let's make it for the people, like something that's digestible, understandable. And he really helped on that part. After a while, we kind of got stuck in that. So you have to reinvent yourself. You can't just keep on doing the same.
Which is hard as an artist,
we use a lot of snaps, or like at some point he's like, let's not do snaps anymore. It's like, oh, really? You think we can do that?
Yeah, because it becomes part of your identity. Like people the audience kind of expects it maybe. I don't know.
But like good artists, like the best of producers, like someone like Serge Gainsbourg, like did all these different styles and like, he still has his identity, but he goes through all these different styles and kind of like
reggae period.
Yeah, exactly. Just breaks it up, and that's a big inspiration. So you've got to let go. You can't be like copying yourself forever.
Of course, no. Of course. It gets boring as an artist.
Yeah, so that's what happened on this album. Definitely moved on. The sound is quite different.
Nice. Talking about Serge, do you have a favorite Serge track that we should add to your playlist?
Oh, I have many favorites, but let's say Variation sur Marilou.
Oh, beautiful.
That's one. I really love the harmony and the production is very modern, and I love that one.
Dans son regard absent et son iris absinthe, tandis que Marilou s'évertue à faire des volutes de sèches lointaines, entre deux bulles de comic strip, tout en jouant avec son zip, à entrebâiller ses lévis. Dans son regard absent et son iris absinthe, dis-je, je lis le vice de Baby Doll et je pense à Lewis Carroll.
Do you have a song that defines Paris for you?
Not really, no. I don't have. I'd have to think about that. I'm
gonna take you back though. I need to find out. I want to get that Baron playlist of yours.
Yeah,
because that music is usually timeless.
Non, mais Paris s'éveille, this song from the Dutron, là, that's amazing. It's a very typically Parisian song.
Je suis le dauphin de la place Dauphine et la place Blanche à mauvaise mine. Les camions sont pleins de lait, les balayeurs sont pleins de balais. Il est 5 heures, Paris s'éveille. Paris s'éveille. Les travestis vont se raser, les stripteaseuses sont rhabillées. Les traversins sont écrasés, les amoureux sont fatigués. Il est 5 heures, Paris s'éveille.
I wrote a song about Paris I never released. That would be my Paris song.
Are you gonna release it at some point?
It's been in the box for 20 years, so maybe I will.
Yeah.
You know.
Nice. From all your performances of the past few years, do you have like a moment that was like, well, it will stuck with you forever?
On the last tour, it's been quite a while, but I don't want to be so simple. I was just saying, but the last Olympia, our second show was really amazing, and we had all the family, and I feel like we're more in control. There's more awareness of just being present. That's a big job of, as we're like really producers. I'm not a natural stage guy, I would say. It's more, it's a learning process. So it's a lot about breathing and being present and trying to connect and really mean what you say.
Yeah.
And not just I used to need a lot of just automatic things, and I needed a kit to start being a stage person, work around my anxiety. And now I'm really starting to enjoy it. I was kind of afraid to go back on stage, and now I enjoy this tour. I like the new songs, the way it sounds. And so it's fun. It's acquiring the skill.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I love that. Yeah. I mean, stage fright, it's real, and I get it. If you're 5,000, 10,000 people staring at you, it gets you, no matter who you are, right? You really have to like embrace it. And as you said, breathing exercise.
There's levels to it. On the last tour, I got past that. I was singing Feel Good for the first time, but the speeches, it will very... Yeah, we do the same thing every time, and and now it's more trying, actually look at what's going on, say something specific about what's really happening, and not just say the same speech all the time.
Yeah.
And playing a bit different. Also, there's more. It's getting more musical. It's not improvised for sure. Our show is quite scripted.
Yeah.
But that's the direction we want to go, and just being present.
Yeah, nice. One of your live shows, I think, has like 8 million views on YouTube. It's the Sock show.
Yes.
From a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Kudos to that. 8 million. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
You're wearing this amazing sweater or t-shirt. I was like, where did you get that? I was like, I need to ask you. It's like this yellow and orange. I mean, it's this basically on a shirt.
The brand is Jekero.
Okay.
And
I thought it was like maybe a vintage one. Okay.
And Marguerite used to be a singer in our band. She sings Dorothy with Victoria, and she left the band to develop the brand. But we wore a lot of Jekero in the beginning.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
nice.
We still do. Yeah, she still does those T-shirts. You can get one.
I'll get one.
Yeah.
I'll get one for sure. It's very on brand for Are We On Air. Now, what's your go-to falling in love or heartbreak song?
Wow, I should have prepared these. Falling.
Fans.
I'm married. First thing, so I am in love.
Making things clear.
We have a lot of. Trying to think of a song we really share with my wife. That's a love song. I can't remember the names. It's a 50s song. We're really into 50s music. Aisha, that was when I met her. My wife is Turkish, and she loved like 50s music. So it was very, very baron, and it's quite surprising. So we have a big 50s playlist, and I can't remember the song I'm trying to think of. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We'll come back to it. We'll add it to the playlist afterwards.
Yes.
How about that? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So talking about love, when you're feeling super sexy, what's the sexiest song?
Sexy music, like music.
It could be anything.
Music
that's
is not
to
sexy. Like I'll play like frequencies. I want like stuff something that's like I'll play rain and a frequency.
Yeah.
And like just stuff like that's super ethereal and like that you never want to connect emotionally to something. Like music is so important to me that if I hear something in the music,
it will distract you.
I'm
It'll take away from the moment.
Having sex anymore. Like, so for a long, I like something very, very ethereal, and I don't especially like to play music for
sexy time.
I don't. Barry White, let's get it on.
To wrap up our little chat, and before we have a little block party here, if your life would be a movie, what song would play in the end credits?
I got to pick a good one. There's
in the Polo Pan documentary.
Yeah. Let's just put Requiem from Polo Pan for now, but some kind of some kind of epic. There's a lot of classical music that would fit. Oh.
Monsieur, une très grande photo de vous.
Merci.
I'm sure the pick would change, like, depending on what mood I am when I die.
Exactly. I get the most random answers to this question. Like the funniest, the most random. Like,
It's kind of cool if you share really like happy, or like something uplifting. Such a perfect day, maybe.
beautiful.
Perfect day.
Beautiful.
In it with you.
Oh, it's such a perfect day. I'm glad I spent it with you. Oh, such a perfect day. You just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on.
Well, after this interview, you heading back to the hotel to maybe pick up a USB and maybe play
Yes.
some tracks later during your Kioskothek takeover.
Yes.
Is there like a couple of songs we can expect already that you think you might drop?
Well, I was just editing The Mirror, an extended version. I might play that. I'll put it on the USB. Yeah, I have a lot of edits, a lot of stuff. I don't know. I'll see how it sounds.
Yeah.
Like I created a lot of tracks for Burning Man 2 years ago that I didn't release. I created a lot of edits. I have an edit of La Femme d'Argent with the voice of Serge Gainsbourg on the
wow.
break that I played at Burning Man in front of 15,000 people.
Oh,
and that was really
wow.
epic.
How was that?
I have
Damn.
an edit of Riders on the Storm. I have some interesting edits that I might play.
I might have to
Yeah.
take that USB.
I can share the folder.
Thank you. Well, Polo and Pan, it was a pleasure to have you on air.
Thanks, Arman.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
very much looking forward to our little block party.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Thank you for tuning in this week. If you want to listen to the full playlist, visit areweonair.com or our Spotify channel. You can also find us on Instagram and on YouTube at areweonair. And a big thank you to my wonderful team at Studio Noi. I'm Armand-Delille, and I'll speak to you soon.